Book of Heaven, Volume 20, November 20th, 1926. How all the divine attributes take on the office of forming the new little sea of their qualities in the soul. How everyone has emotion. I was doing my round in the creation according to my usual way, in order to follow the acts of the supreme will in it. But while I was doing this, my always lovable Jesus, letting me hear his most sweet voice in each created thing, told me,
"Who is calling my love, so that either my love may descend into her, or her own may ascend into mine, so as to fuse themselves together, form one single love, and to give my love the field of action, in order to make arise in the soul the new little sea of her love. My love triumphs and celebrates, because it is given its outlet and its field of action."
As I moved into the sun, into the heavens, into the sea, I kept hearing his voice saying,
"Who is calling my eternal light, my infinite sweetness, my incomparable beauty, my unshakable firmness, my immensity, in order to form their cortege and give them the field of action to make arise in the creature as many seas of light, of sweetness, of beauty, of firmness, and so forth, to give them the contentment of not being kept idle, but of using the littleness of the creature in order to enclose all of their qualities in her. Who is she then? Ah, it is the little daughter of our will."
Then, after I heard him say to me in each created thing,
"Who is calling me?"
my sweet Jesus came out from within my interior and, clasping me all to himself, told me,
"My daughter, as you go around in my will, to follow it in each created thing, all of my attributes hear your call and enter the field in order to form, each one of them, the little sea of their qualities. Oh, how they triumph in seeing themselves active, being able to form each one its own little sea. But their highest pleasure and delight increases in being able to form in the little creature their seas of love, of light, of beauty, of tenderness, of power, and so forth. My wisdom acts as a talented artisan, and with marvelous ingenuity, in placing its immense and infinite qualities in the littleness. Oh, how the soul who lives in my will harmonizes with my attributes. Each one of them takes on its office in order to establish its divine quality. If you knew the great good that comes to you by following my will in all of its acts and the crafting it carries out in you, you too would feel the joy of a continuous feast."
Then, after this, I continued to follow the creation, and I could see that eternal motion that never stops, flowing everywhere. And I thought to myself, how can I follow the supreme volition in everything if it runs so rapidly in all things? I do not have its virtue, nor its rapidity. Therefore, I have to remain behind, without being able to follow its eternal murmuring in everything. But while I was thinking of this, my sweet Jesus, moving in my interior, told me,
"My daughter, all things have a continuous motion, because, having come out of a supreme being who contains a motion full of life, as a consequence, all things that came out of God were to contain a vital motion that never ceases. And if it ceases, it means that life ceases. See, you yourself have a murmuring, a continuous motion in your interior. Even more, the divinity, in creating the creature, gave him the likeness of the three divine persons. It placed in him three motions which were to murmur continuously, to unite themselves to that continuous motion and murmuring of love of their Creator. And these are the motion of the beating of the heart that never ceases, the blood circulation that always circulates without ever stopping, the breathing of the breath that never stops. This in the body, in the soul, then, there are three more motions that murmur continuously: the intellect, the memory, and the will. Therefore, everything is in keeping your motion bound to the motion of your Creator, in order to murmur together with his eternal motion. In this way, you will follow my will in its motion that never stops, in its acts that never cease, and you will make your motion return into the womb of your Creator, who awaits with so much love the return of his works, of his love, and of his murmuring. In creating the creatures, the divinity acts like a father who sends his children, for their good, one to a town, one to a field, one to cross the sea, and some to a place nearby, some far away, giving each one of them a task to fulfill. But while he sends them, he anxiously awaits their return. He is always on the lookout to see if they are coming back. If he speaks about his children. If he loves, his love runs to his children. His thoughts fly to his children. Poor father, he feels crucified because he has sent his children far away from him, and he longs for their return more than his own life. And if, may this never be, he does not see all of them or part of them come back, he is inconsolable. He weeps and utters moans and cries of sorrow, such as to snatch tears even from the hardest. And only when he sees them return into his paternal bosom, to clasp them to his breast that burns with love for his children, then is he content. Oh, how our celestial Father, more than Father, sighs, burns, raves for his children, because he delivered them from his womb and awaits their return in order to enjoy them in his loving arms. And the kingdom of the supreme fiat is precisely this, the return of our children into our paternal arms, and this is why we long for it so much.
Then, after this, I felt all immersed in the adorable will of God, and I thought to myself of the great good if everyone knew and fulfilled this fiat so holy, and the great contentment that they would give to our celestial Father. And my sweet Jesus, resuming his speaking, added,
My daughter, in creating the creature, as we were forming him with our creative hands, we felt a joy, a contentment come out of our womb, because he was to serve to maintain our amusement on the face of the earth and our continuous feast. So, as we formed his feet, we thought that they were to serve our kisses, because they were to enclose our steps and were to be our means of encounter, to amuse ourselves together. As we formed his hands, we thought that they were to serve our kisses and embraces, because we were to see in him the repeater of our works. As we formed his mouth, his heart, which were to serve the echo of our word and of our love, and as we infused life in him with our breath, in seeing that life had come out of us, it was a life completely our own. We clasped him to our womb and kissed him, as the confirmation of our work and of our love. And so that he might maintain himself whole in our steps, in our works, in the echo of our word and love and of the life of our image impressed in him, we gave him our divine will as inheritance, that it might preserve him just as we had delivered him, so as to be able to continue our amusements, our affectionate kisses, our sweet conversations with the work of our hands. When we see our will in the creature, we see in her our steps, our works, our love, our words, our memory and intellect, because we know that our supreme will let nothing enter which is not our own. Therefore, being our own, we give her everything, kisses, caresses, favors, love, tenderness more than paternal, nor do we feel like remaining even at one step of distance from her. More so, since even the slightest distances cannot form the continuous amusements, nor exchange kisses, nor share the most intimate and secret joys. On the other hand, in the soul, in whom we do not see our will, we cannot amuse ourselves, because we see nothing that is our own. Such a disharmony, such a dissimilarity of steps, of works, of words, of love can be felt in her, that she herself puts herself at a distance from her Creator, and wherever we see that the powerful magnet of our will is not present, which makes us as though forget about the infinite distance that exists between the Creator and the creature, we disdain to amuse ourselves with her, and to fill her with our kisses and favors. So, by withdrawing from our will, man interrupted our amusements and destroyed the designs we had in forming the creation. And only by the reigning of our supreme fiat, by establishing its kingdom, will our designs be realized and our amusements resumed on the face of the earth.
Thank you for being a part of our community here at Divine Will app. If you enjoy listening to Jesus' lessons on how to live in the divine will, please give this video a thumbs up. Your likes help us reach more souls yearning to live in the kingdom of the divine will. We'd love to hear your thoughts and reflections, so drop a comment below. Your insights not only enrich our community, but also inspire others on their spiritual journey. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. By joining us, you're helping to spread the news of the kingdom of the divine will, so that together we can bring His kingdom to reign on earth as it is in heaven. In the divine will, always.